Hello everyone, Jonah here from TeamBurningInfinitey, bringing you guys my Demon Lord deck profile. This is not my normal Demon Lord, this is a kind of offensive, open center, size 3 based one. I have a lot of fun with this version. I concocted it when I just saw Heat Blade, and I just said, oh, and then I had 5 copies, so I'm like, oh, make it the buddy, because the other deck had Aid of the Water Lord, so then I just said, like, oh, why not have Heat as the buddy? Since I do have 5 copies, and it kind of goes with the theme of this deck a little bit. Um, I do have a lot of fun with this, but this is definitely not as competitive as the other Demon Lord. This is just one I have for fun. Um, it's just really cool to do a couple of plays in this deck, and it just brings me back all the way back to set 3 plays that I used to do with old dungeons. Anyway, so I'm gonna get on to the profile. First up, we have the buddy in the flag. We have the buddy in the flag. We have, of course, Dungeon World. Blah blah blah. Then we've got Heatblade Joker. This is a size 0 3/1/1, and it has the act put in a soul of a demon lord with size 2 or greater demon lord with no soul, and if it's in the soul of it, that said demon lord, then it gets soul guard. So yay, this thing is pretty cool. It's really nice to give all your non-soul demon lords some soul guard, like for example Arkdora, no soul, like for ones that do have soul, but then could lose it because people are gonna attack it, like Mazaria and um Ikaruga. This really helps you replenish soul, so it's a really great card. It also has pretty decent stats to boot, like Dryad stats just as well. 3/1/1. Dominion Rod boosts it to 4,000. It's nice. And say hello to the only non-demon lord in this deck, and that is Bronze Golem Jace, and I only play 2 of him because, like I said, this is a little demon. This is completely demon lord based, and I just have him to be a 2 crit size 0, for Lelag plays and such things like that. Demon Lord's Dungeon, if in case I need to go for 2 crit instead of like all those 1 crits I do have for my size 0 lineup, but that's all really he's here for, just 2 crit. And for the buddy, we literally just went over him, so I'm not going to really get into any detail that I didn't already do with this. Then we have 4 copies of my old buddy, Ada Waterlord, Steinblade Joker, need a Demon Lord to call him. He's 3/1/3. Kills monster in the center when he attacks. Really great card. Really, still one of the best size zeros if you're going to play in a Demon Lord based size 3 deck. Not much else to say. Next up, we have the only size 2 in this deck. We have Third Omni Waterlord Mazaria. One Mazaria is here just because he's the only Demon Lord with double attack, so I really want to have him for some open fields, like using him like a pseudo Bladewing, but more power to boot, more defense to boot, and double soul guard. So I really enjoy playing this card, regardless if it's not a size 3, and it still goes with the theme of the deck, and also, come on, this is the best, so why wouldn't I play him? Then we get on the size 3s, we have second Omni Demon Lord as Modai. He's kind of an inspiration for the deck, because him with Heat Blade, if I haven't already explained to my old Demon Lord deck, my other Demon Lord deck, my original Demon Lord deck, when you have Heat Blade, you can, since he has no soul, just swoop right in there, Omni with Soul Guard, and still has his ability, so in case you don't want to use the Soul Guard, you can still use it. And then Soul Guard's still there. Helps to deal with lots of things that are annoying, like anything that just has counter speed or any kind of ability that just instantly destroys a monster, so you don't have to always use his ability to save him. So it's really nice. Having him with Demon Lord's Dungeon is practically the most annoying setup your opponent could ever deal with, because he keep going. Okay, so I just put in Soul, then I Soul Guard, and they barely hit 10 most decks, and then my turn starts, Demon Lord's Dungeon brings it back, do it again, and do that for like all eternity if they can't fucking deal with this. And constant 3 crit penetrate, so yay. Um, I so Keyblade with Onidai is just a very devastating combo. This is probably one of the few Demon Lords I would call it a center in this deck. Of course him, maybe Dale Cruiser sometimes. The other ones I'll definitely put on the right or left most of the time. And we have 1 copy of Demon Lord Gagnar. He is a size 3, 946, 2 gauge call cost, and when he enters the field, put all my gauge into the deck and shuffle, then put top 3 into gauge. I really like this card. It's like it was the original Arkdora. Arkdora did kind of replace it. I was gonna play 4 Arkdora, but I was like, gotta show some love to the original. triple R that no one gave a shit about. I do also like this because there are moments where actually it is better because 4 crit, and if someone's playing open center, this is better because Arc Dora's penetrate will be kind of redundant if they play open center. I also still really like the fact that he's got a little bit more power, so there are a couple of instances where he's a little better. So, I don't know, I like Gagnar. He's decent. He's a one-of because I can get him back with Demon Lord's Dungeon. I mean, not Demon Lord's Dungeon, Deo Cruzar if I need to, Secret Arts of Warlord if I need to. So, he's just really nice, like a backup Arc Dora. Then we have the traitor, the evil Hunter Demon. We got Death Master Lilac Monarch. He is 8,000 power, 3 critical, 7,000 defense with penetrate, lifelink 2. By the way, Gagnar is lifelink 2. Kind of literally most of the deck is lifelink 2s out the ass. Miseria, Arcdora, Deo Cruzar, all of them have like lifelink 2. It's really hilarious and annoying at the same time. Anyway, pay 2 gauge to call, and when it enters the field, I can call up to 2 size zeros without paying their call cost. None of my size zeros really have a call cost, so I don't really care. So I basically use this to call either 2 Jayshes or a Jaysh and Heat Blade. So then I just go like, okay, put him on the right, put Heat Blade in the center, and then have a Jaysh on the right, and then just put Heat Blade from the center into the soul, have a weapon, and then go like face and face and face. So it's a really nice card to have to get back an entire size 0 field. I'm gonna play 2 because I can use Demon Lord's Dungeon to mainly get back my zeros if I need to. And he's mainly just used for mainly push plays or just a little defensive. If I want to like give him Solgar up Heat Blade, and make it annoying for my opponent to deal with this, especially if I have Dominion Rod to make it 8k defense. Next up, we have 3 copies of Dragon Demon Lord Arcdora, or I like to call Arcdora because that was her original Japanese name, and it sounds better to me than Arcdra. Anyway, 8,000 power, 3 critical, 6,000 defense, and it has the ability during either player's attack phase, then all dungeon spells cast costs are reduced by 2 gauge. It is absolutely ridiculous that you could have free Shalsanas, free Pillar Fires, a near free dungeon explosion. It will just cost like 2 life and 1 gauge to nuke an entire board. Counter speed. It's funny the stuff you can do with Arcdora. Like I said, I was gonna play 4, but then I was like, I want to throw in that 1 Gagnar. So then Arcdora's here. She's really great. It has penetrate, lifelink 2 gauge call cost. It's a really great card. I really like this in this deck. It really fits with the open center a little more than most Demon Lords, so it allows me to play this deck. And of course, the damn near 4 staple. We have 4 copies of Guardian Dragon of Demon Lord Castle, Deo Cruzar, 8,000 power, 3 critical, 7,000 defense, Soul Guard, lifelink 2, top deck Soul, 2 gauge call cost, and it can get back a Destruction or a Demon Lord from the drop zone when it enters the field. So it can get back you can recycle itself, you can recycle any of your, like literally every monster except Jaysh. You can recycle back Demon Lord's Dungeon if they get popped or they just end up in a drop zone. Secret Arts of the Warlord. Lots of things. Lots and lots of things in this deck are you can easily retrieve with this ability. I love this card. It is always going to be great in this deck because why wouldn't you want to get free stuff back from your drop zone and have a nice 3 crit? I mean, it's not all, like I said, it's not offensive like the other ones, but it's really good. Onto the arbitrary spells. We have a lot of 2-ups to go through, so I'm just going to get through this. We have 2 dangerous fuse, like I said, Gauge or Hand. It's perfect for dungeon. It's kind of the decent card of dungeon enemies. It's not perfect, but it's just good enough to play. Duval, because this deck does not get retarded amounts of advantage, especially since it's more rush based. So, and it's not like Knights where I can search out everything or something like that. So it's kind of really just here because dungeon enemies aren't super consistent. They're consistent, but not retarded like adventures or something. As I mentioned before, we have 2 Dungeon Explosion. Dungeon Explosion is an obscure double R that came all the way back in set 3 and no one played, well, almost no one played it because it's so weird of a card. But in case you guys don't know, this is a destruction. It is a cast cost of pay 2 life and pay 3 gauge. But, and this will never happen to me, but still, if you do not have a Demon Lord on field, pay another 4 gauge. So if you don't have a Demon Lord, it costs 7 gauge and 2 life. Whew. But either way, then it's it's counter destroy all monsters on my opponent's field. It is absolutely ridiculous what you can do with this Archdora or Gagnar, because Gagnar will replace your gauge. So say you go first turn, you can go first turn Archdora or first turn Gagnar, either one. You with Gagnar, you'll just get the 3 gauge after paying the 2 gauge for his call cost, and you don't even have to charge and draw, because then why do that? Because you'll have the same amount of gauge. I mean, not the same amount of gauge. Anyway, then they're just like ready to attack it, and then it's like bam, drop this with all your gauge, pay 2 life, and just bop everything. Then with Archdora, it's just basically call it and then pay 1 gauge and do 2 life, and you just destroy everything. Oh, it is absolutely hilarious to just drop this on your opponent when they least expect it. It's also destruction, like I said, so you can get it back with Ikaruga if it ends up in a drop. Next up, we have 2 copies of Pillar of Fire. Pillar of Fire is something I don't normally play in a Demon Lord list because they're usually defensive, but this is offensive, so this works. The annoying part about Pillar of Fire is it is a firepower, and you do need an open center. The open center sometimes happens and sometimes doesn't. That's why I only play 2. And also, like I said, it's a firepower. I can't retreat this from the drop zone like hitting crossbow or something. And it's still 1 gauge, but unless I have like Archdora, then it's free. So yay, I really do like this card, and it does fit this deck. Next up, we have 2 secret arts of the Warlord, aka Matrix. Either pick the red pill where you gain a gauge and deal 1 damage to your opponent, or you take the blue pill, and you get a Demon Lord monster from your drop zone to your hand, and either way you have to pay 1 life. You go use this once per turn. I really like this card. It's like your backup Ikaruga, that will cost you a life. The other nice thing is it gets you gauge and deals damage to your opponent, which kind of also decently helps with the rush in this deck. The other fun part is it gets you gauge, so it's really helpful something like enemies. Next up, we have 3 copies of Demon Lord's Dungeon. 3 is mainly because this is you want to see as many zeros as you can, and see this card with as Demon Lord's Modai and your other 3s that don't have Soul Guard consistently. So yeah. Anyway, just beginning of your turn, if you can always set this card if you have a Demon Lord, and then you just beginning your turn get a size 0 basically in this deck. Just there's no size 1. It's only just saying a size 0. You get a size 0 for free because none of them have a call cost. So it's really nice. And like every single Demon Lord list, I have 4 copies of Shao Sun and 4 copies of Hidden Crossbow. Gets back, you great counter move a card, gets back, you can get it back from with Ikaruga ability, and of course your arbitrary best need null in all of the deck. And then the last type of card in this deck are the weapons. I play no impacts. Like I said, this is more fun oriented, so there is no World End, there is no 100 Legion or something arbitrary, Phoenix Radiation, nothing. Anyway, I have 2 copies of Alex Bane. This is just here because this is kind of a decent weapon, but it's not the main weapon I like in this. I would play 3, but I'm just like, this deck is already at 51, and it's not really super amazing, so it's super consistent. So I just really don't want to play more. Anyway, it's 1 gauge to equip, and like I said, with my contract list, if there's a dungeon enemy on my field, then if it deals damage or kills a monster with its 6,000 amazing power, you can gain a gauge. Top deck into gauge. Really nice card. It's really decent with lots of rush fields, but I do prefer the other weapon, which is 3 copies of Dominion Rod. I normally might play 4, but this list, it's a little tight, and also Ikaruga can get it back, so I'm not too worried about not getting a Dominion Rod. And the best part is I picked all my 3 hollows, my only 3 hollows, because I don't want 4. Anyway, this gives +1/+1, which is actually very helpful with the deck, because with the way it plays with open center and with some of them like Gagnar and Archdora having 6k defense, it's kind of annoying because there actually are a few decks where you can actually hit that consistently. So this kind of actually is a lot better to me, because then if I have a 7k Archdora on the right and they want to really get rid of it, because like if say they're playing close center and they don't want to deal with the penetrate, then it's like, okay, now you have to waste attacks on this. And if it has Soul Guard with Heat Blade, then it's really annoying for them. So and then with and the same thing goes for Lelag, because if he gets the 8k defense and it's on the right or left and they don't want to deal with the penetrate, it's gonna cost them a lot of time to get rid of it. especially if it has Soul Guard with Heat Blade. So I kind of really like this weapon much more than Alex Bane in terms of most fields. Anyway, hope you guys like this video. Subscribe to TeamBurningInfinitey for more Buddy Fight content. I will be doing a wizard profile probably on Friday. If not, it'll be uploaded on Saturday. Anyway, I'll see you guys later. Jen from TeamBurningInfinitey going out.